I think we all enjoy Sonic media. Sonic X, Sonic Boom, Sonic Prime, even the movies. If you've been on my channel for a while, you should know that I'm a pretty big Sonic fan, despite the fact that I haven't played any of the games. I know, shocking, a Sonic fan that doesn't play the games. Listen, just because I don't play the games doesn't mean I'm not aware of the games or the characters' personalities. But there's one piece of Sonic media that really sparks something in me. And that, my friends, is an annual series, or tradition in this case, called Sonic Twitter Takeover. Some of you might know this, some of you might not. If you're not one of the 60,000 people who watch my video on the funniest moments from these traditions, thanks a lot by the way, or just any of those animatics like Shadow Chaos Blasting, then you can use this video as a little beginner's guide to the series. Anyway, this is my first video to use an actual script, so we'll see how this goes. It might take longer to make, so this might be the only time I do this sort of thing, but we'll see. Anyway, without further ado, let's begin. So, what is Sonic Twitter Takeover? Should I be interested in such a thing? Well, yes, you definitely should. As for what it is, it's an official Q&A session from the official Sonic team with the official Sonic voice actors. It lasts about 6 hours, taking place in the afternoon, usually near the end of every year. You'd usually be notified about it if you follow the official Twitter page, or it could pop up in your For You page if you see the fandom often. There's usually a post showing the layout for the visuals, who's gonna be there, and when it will happen. I guess I should say this now, the takeovers are sort of like a podcast. There's no animated visuals, mainly audio. There are visuals, but they're usually only to show who's talking. There's currently 8 Twitter takeovers as of me making this video. There should be a 9th one very soon. As of right now, the current cast is Sonic, Eggman, Shadow, Tails, Knuckles, and Amy. The cast isn't always the case though. At first, on the first takeover, Eggman was the only character. The second one added Sonic, the third one added Shadow, the fourth one added Tails, and the 6th one added Knuckles and Amy. Shadow wasn't there for the 7th one because Sonic Superstars is a classic game and Shadow isn't a classic character, and Eggman, Tails, Knuckles, and Amy weren't in the 8th one because it was promoting Sonic X Shadow Generations, and since there's a reason why it's called Sonic X Shadow Generations and not Sonic X Shadow, X Tails, X Amy, X Knuckles. One of the wisps from Sonic Colors, Yacker, only appeared on the 5th one because the takeover for that year was commemorating Sonic Colors Ultimate. Every one of the takeovers, except for the first 2, were all made to honor the newest big Sonic game. 3 was for Sonic Forces, 4 was for Team Sonic Racing, 5 was for Sonic Colors Ultimate, 6 was for Sonic Frontiers, 7 was for Sonic Superstars, and 8 was for Sonic X Shadow Generations. Also, starting from Sonic Twitter Takeover 7, they started hosting the Q&As on TikTok too. When the takeover starts, everyone slowly appears one by one. Then Sonic prompts everyone to use the hashtag AskSonic for their questions. It was Ask Shadow once for Sonic Twitter Takeover 8 because it was the year of Shadow that year. It was a running gag before then where Shadow would complain about the hashtag being AskSonic instead of Ask Shadow.
Wait, why is it hashtag AskSonic? I think it should be hashtag AskShadow. Why are we using AskSonic again?
With the hashtag AskSonic.
That's a weird way to pronounce Shadow.
There are many other gags and jokes in the takeovers, but I'll talk about those later. This series can help you get to know the characters more, and honestly, Shadow is kind of wholesome actually. We'll get to that later. So, when did it start? Well, the first takeover started on November 13th, 2015, when Sonic Boom was still in session, and it was an actual takeover of Sonic's Twitter account by Boom Eggman. Boom Sonic does make a small cameo in the takeover, but Sonic doesn't get an actual major appearance until the second one released on June 24th, 2016. Similarly, the Japanese Sonic Twitter account released their own Q&A session with their Sonic VTuber model on June 24th, 2022 in honor of Sonic's 31st anniversary. It's technically not a Twitter takeover, but I thought I'd include that because it's basically the same except it's Japanese and with just Sonic. I love the official VTuber models though. Now you might be wondering, can I ask them a question? The answer is yes, you can. However, they don't answer every question because there's no way the Sonic team is going to make the scripts for everyone and let the actors record the lines and edit the video in a 6-hour time period if they answered every question. So, when they do the intro post on Twitter or TikTok, ask your question in the comments and hope you get lucky. And even if you don't get your question answered, don't be salty. There's always next year. Anyway, with the basics out of the way, you've probably seen the title of the video already and we're like, what makes them so unhinged? They're just Q&A sessions. What's so crazy about those? Well, hang on to your gold rings, because we're about to dive into the madness hole that is the takeovers themselves. The first ever takeover was hosted by Boom Eggman on November 13th, 2015, where Eggman would hack Sonic's Twitter just to start a Q&A session. Yes, this series is over 10 years old. The initial series was created by Aaron Weber, who was a manager of Sonic's Twitter account before retiring in 2023. There's not much to say about this takeover, honestly. Most of it was just minor promotions, meme callbacks, and people just asking him to give Sonic's Twitter account back. Also, Roger Craig Smith, aka Sonic's voice actor, asked a question in the middle of the takeover, and it's hilarious.
I was wondering, Dr. Eggman, and this isn't Sonic, you ever thought about, like, a hair transplant? I don't know, from maybe your mustache to your head?
At the end, Eggman gets tricked into a fake website that allows Sonic to hack in and get his account back. Yeah, again, there's really not much to say about this one. Of course, this is their first takeover, and when you're doing a series like this for the first time, it's best to start off with something simple and then go on to make better and newer looking ones. But other than that, I'd say it's pretty okay. There's not much to it, but it feels pretty unique compared to the other takeovers, and that's okay. But don't worry guys, there's better things to come. Let's move on. Okay, so I'm kind of going to scrap this whole idea of a script entirely because this is slowing me down and I want to get this out before Sonic Twitter Takeover 9. On June 20th, 2016, SEGA posted a video called Sonic Twitter Takeover 2 Hedgehog Boogaloo, announcing that Sonic Twitter Takeover would be making an epic comeback featuring Sonic the Hedgehog as the next character. And just like that, 4 days later, Sonic Twitter Takeover 2 began. This takeover featured both Sonic and Eggman, and was done in honor of Sonic's 25th anniversary. This was where the takeovers really began to skyrocket in popularity, not just on Twitter, but on other social media websites too. Since there are almost no visuals in the takeovers, people began to animate the funny moments that they encountered in these takeovers, and they got extremely popular. Heck, they may have been some people's first experiences to Sonic Twitter Takeover, like me. Anyways, from here on, I'm just going to explain some of the highlights of the takeovers, the ones that got extremely popular or got a bunch of animations, or those that I just particularly find funny. So, let's go! The Game Grumps have actually asked a question on the takeovers a lot of times in the past, and in this case, Sonic just decides to do a reference to one of their videos, and...
Whoa, Eggman, listen. Sometimes you gotta draw a line in the sand, man. You gotta ask yourself, what am I willing to put up with today?
This comment on my video speaks for itself. Eggman did a reference to the Tootsie Pop commercial. You know the one? A 1, a 2, a 3, a 3. Oh, here it is. This requires a lot of explaining. This user named Franny Koo asks a question on the second takeover, and yeah, I can't find the original comment, but it's clearly not in English because Sonic does not understand what the heck it's even saying. So Eggman proceeds to do the Macarena, and soon enough all the other characters would start doing the Macarena too as a tradition of the takeovers, and this was a big hit because many people would start making animations of them doing the Macarena, and I mean a lot of them. Oh, and also they don't know how to sing the Spanish lyrics, so the whole time they're just going So yeah, this is the takeover where that whole tradition began. And I want to say thank you, Franny-Coo, for making this a thing. I love this. This question with this Cobra Monty guy got so many people's attention because of Sonic's response. Like, it's so funny.
You know, on an unrelated note, did you ever find your dad?
I swear, that's one of the most savage things Sonic has said, and it's so stinking hilarious, I swear. For some reason, the question made by the people who made the Archie comics plays twice in the video.
Oh my god, it's Steve Gunner!
Can I just say that some of their rips are really good, though? And that's basically all the highlights I want to talk about. Isn't it crazy that just the second one really went crazy in popularity and got so many people knowing about the Twitter takeovers? And to think this all started as just a simple joke, and now look what this has become. And of course, the takeovers only improved from here, and from then on, it would become an annual thing. Sonic Twitter takeovers are kind of like a holiday, except they don't always happen on the same day, but it's an annual thing, so technically with this count, we're gonna move on from here now, and if you know me, you know I'm gonna love this next one. On November 4th, 2017, SEGA released the third takeover in honor of Sonic Forces.
And oh my god, Shadow the Hedgehog, let's go!
For those who don't know, I am a huge simp for Shadow the Hedgehog, so expect me to ramble on about him for a large majority of the video, because I love this guy, he's beautiful! Anyway, Shadow still somehow hasn't found that dang fourth Chaos Emerald. For a few answers, they were experimenting with the left ear, right ear thing, and yeah, it's better with them in both ears, because it sounds terrible.
Hello, Twitter. It's me, Shadow. I need your help. For almost 14 years now, I've been...
My right ear loves this!
Yeah, they would eventually go back to both ears, but yeah, it just doesn't sound that good when it's in separate ears. So Shadow sees Eggman and Sonic and is like,
I can't believe you both are here. I'm leaving.
but eventually they both convince Shadow to stay, and yeah, the boys here, let's go! This is also where they do a slight change in the visual format, where if a character starts talking, they'll zoom in and grow brighter. However, they'll stay there, so it becomes hard to tell who's talking if you don't know the voices. They did fix this in the next takeover, where they'll do this every time they start talking, instead of just once. Okay, this one got a lot of people's attention, and this is a Saw naming question, of course. And Shadow just sounds so smug about it. He wants to tease Sonic so bad.
What, Sonic?
Are you embarrassed? And just a few seconds later, Infinite sends Eggman a file of Sonado pictures, and Sonic's like, no! Infinite's such a goof. I love how Sega just completely embraces their meme culture and fan base. Like, it's beautiful.
Okay, guys, don't destroy my ears like that.
Wyatt Olaf asks, is Shadow the edgiest? Or is there someone even edgier?
No, Shadow's the edgiest, and I love it.
So this user named Mudkip_Captain asks Shadow how's Maria, and
Let's just say she's gonna die tonight. If you see red eyes out your window at 3 a.m., then run.
this person asks Shadow his favorite anime, and from what he described, it's this anime called Kill la Kill. I've never watched it, but it sounds interesting. He specifically described it as the one with the edgy girl and the scissor blade, and then I looked in the comments and they said he was describing Kill la Kill, and I had never heard of that anime, so thank you, commenters. This person asked them how they take their coffee in the morning, and Shadow states that he eats the coffee beans straight because they're delicious and crunchy. This person asked what Eggman would do if he wasn't evil, and this is the first hint that Shadow really likes cats, and honestly, I love that! All of his suggestions are about Eggman getting like hundreds and hundreds of cats, and so there's so many cats he has to move out of the entire house.
Only someone who loves cats would suggest something like that.
I am a cat lover myself, and every time I think about Shadow loving cats,
I love it! This guy is too precious for this world. We must protect him at all costs. Oh my god, is that Jacksepticeye?
oh wait, I mean Jack something in his eye? This person dared Shadow to quote-unquote act happier than Sonic for the fourth Chaos Emerald, and can someone please animate this? I want to see Shadow smiling. He's so precious.
You can't hear it, but I'm smiling right now. I am oh so happy. Sunshine and rainbows, unicorns and kittens, adorable puppies.
Why fix it if it ain't broke, am I right?
Aw, he did the little old man laugh. Aw.
Shadow casually references the existence of Scratch and Grounder from the Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog and pretends he didn't.
Scratch that idea, Sonic. You need to grounder your ideas a bit more in reality.
Dude, did you just say grounder?
What? No, I said ground. Obviously.
Okay, so that's all for Sonic Twitter Takeover 3. This was definitely much better than the first two. Mainly because of Shadow, but yeah. Anyway, since this video is getting pretty long, I'm planning on making this a 3-parter. The next video will have Sonic Twitter Takeover 4, 5, and 6, and the third part will have 7 and 8. The second part will come out very soon, so I'll see y'all there. And for those watching this after the third part came out, well, let's move on to Sonic Twitter Takeover 4.